The morning sun spilled through the windows of the Clampett mansion, casting long shadows across the breakfast table where Jed Clampett sat, his trademark wide-brimmed hat resting on a nearby chair. He looked across at the table with a warm, genuine smile that reached his eyes, feeling the quiet satisfaction of having his family under one roof once again. "Good morning, Ellie, honey," Jed said, his voice a gentle rumble that seemed to hold the comfort of the hills from which they had come. "Good morning, Jed," Granny replied, adjusting her apron as she bustled about the kitchen. She looked a bit weary from the travel, but the sharp sparkle in her eyes remained undimmed. "I sure am glad to have you and Ellie home again," Jed continued, his tone sincere. "And we are glad to be home, Pop," Ellie Mae said, taking her seat with a grace that was entirely her own, a stark contrast to the modern bustle of the city outside their doors. "Come sit down at the table, and I will fetch you a cup of coffee," Granny added, waving a wooden spoon toward the chairs. "Now, Ellie, don't go spoiling him straight off," Granny cautioned, a sly grin playing on her lips. "We fought hard for that women's liberation movement, and I intend to see it honored." "And what? Is you and Jethro going to treat us as equals now?" Ellie asked, a playful challenge in her voice. "I am going to do better than that," Jed promised, standing up and motioning for them to be seated. "You and Ellie sit down at the table, and I am going to serve you breakfast."
How about that?
"Oh, no, Pop," Ellie protested, though she looked amused by the turn of events. "Don't say no, Ellie," Jed insisted gently.
Let us give it a try.
"But I do not want Pop waiting on me," Ellie said, looking at the table. "Oh, I do not say have a meal," Jed clarified, but a little turnabout is fair play, as the saying goes. "She is right," Ellie Granny chimed in, nodding sagely. "What is sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander." "Come on," Jed encouraged, ushering them into their chairs. "It is kind of fun to be waiting on for a change." "Of course it is," Granny agreed, smoothing her dress. "And it shows that the men folks has learned their lesson." "You bet we have," Jed chuckled. "Morning, Uncle Jeth," Ellie said as Jethro walked into the room, his brow furrowed in concentration as he tried to adjust his tie. "Morning," Jethro grunted. "What are you doing?" "I am serving breakfast to our women folks," Jed explained. "I would like you to help me." Jethro stopped dead in his tracks, his eyes wide with disbelief. "Are you out of your gourd? Didn't you learn nothing from them Japanese girls? You and me is glorious sublime beings. These is just two female nothings." "Jethro, we has promised to give up all that kind of thinking," Jed said, his voice remaining calm but firm. "That is a wrap," Jethro muttered, shaking his head. "That is a real wrap. Boy, I think you better come on outside. I will take him to the woodshed and beat the sublimeness out of him," Granny warned, her hand reaching for her cane. "Granny, sit down," Jed pleaded, trying to keep the peace. "Hey, if that little coolie lays one finger on my radiance, I will have her tied to a kabuki and drag right on through to Zen," Jethro declared with an air of theatrical arrogance. "Jethro, come on outside," Jed said, his tone sharpening. "It would be good for your headache." "Headache? I ain't got no headache," Jethro countered. "Just keep messing with Granny," Jed warned, "and you will have more than a headache." Meanwhile, at the bank, Mr. Drysdale was frantic, his hands shaking as he held the legal document that had caused him so much grief. Paragraph 6. Each girl's salary shall be linked to the cost of living index. I am through. I will have to close the bank. Paragraph 7. Miss Hathaway continued, reading from the document with a cool, detached tone. No girl shall receive less than the federal minimum hourly wage. That does it, Mr. Drysdale cried, clutching his chest. I am wiped out. Paragraph 8, she continued. Don't bother to read anymore, Mr. Drysdale shouted. I am not going to sign that contract. You signed it yesterday, Miss Hathaway reminded him.
I did?
Mr. Drysdale asked, his face falling. In the presence of 12 witnesses, she confirmed. Well, I will take it to court and break it, he retorted, pacing the room. Well, you may certainly try, Miss Hathaway said, looking over her spectacles. But let me read you paragraph 8. Paragraph 8. In case of litigation, All legal costs will be paid by Mr. Drysdale. Let us hear paragraph 9, he whispered, defeated. Paragraph 9, Miss Hathaway began. Mr. Drysdale will pay for repairs to Helen Thompson's automobile. That is ridiculous, Mr. Drysdale exploded. That is extortion. Pay your own garage bill. But you were the one that demolished my car, Helen argued, her voice trembling with indignation. I never touched it, Mr. Drysdale claimed. You ordered your bodyguard, that karate expert, to demolish it?
She asked. Me?
She is right, Chief, the bodyguard said, stepping forward. I remember vividly, we were staging a peaceful demonstration in front of the bank. My car. He demolished it. Okay, so he dented your car, Mr. Drysdale said, waving a hand dismissively. Dented it? Here is a couple of bucks. Have it fixed. Chief, Helen's car was broken in two by that monster, the bodyguard corrected. It was probably ready to fall apart anyway, Mr. Drysdale muttered. Come in, he called out as the door opened. Bonsai, am I glad to see you. These two bullies are trying to force me to honor an illegal contract. Take it away from them. Don't get violent, Miss Hathaway warned. Come on, Miss Hathaway, quickly, Mr. Drysdale urged. You will regret this, Chief, the bodyguard said. Nice work, Bonsai, Mr. Drysdale cheered. Now, let us have the contract. As soon as we settle business, Bonsai replied, standing firm. What business? Mr. Drysdale demanded.
Sit down and we will talk, Bonsai said.
I do not have time to talk. I am a busy man, Mr. Drysdale insisted. Please, very important we talk, Bonsai urged. I told you I am too busy, Mr. Drysdale barked. Please, let us talk, Bonsai repeated. What can I do for you, Bonsai? Mr. Drysdale asked, finally sitting down. You can fly 3 new girls from Japan for my household, Bonsai requested. You already have 3 girls, Mr. Drysdale countered. There is Miko and the other 2. They are wonderful. No longer wonderful, Bonsai said, shaking his head. Spoiled by a woman's lip. Miko already left. Well, it is not my fault, Mr. Drysdale protested. I think so, Bonsai said. You hire Bonsai to frighten your woman. Bonsai bring his woman. They learn from your woman. Your fault. You pay for new woman. Now look, if anybody is going to do any paying around here, it is you, Mr. Drysdale said, his temper rising.
Me?
What for? Bonsai asked. Well, you broke my coffee table, that is number 1. You broke Helen's car, that is number 2. You broke the Clampetts' bench, that is number 3. You would like to be number 4? Mr. Drysdale threatened. Now look, do not try to intimidate me, Bonsai warned. I am not flying 3 girls from Japan and that is that. Perhaps if there were enough of us, we could overpower Bonsai and take our contract away from him, Miss Hathaway whispered to Mr. Drysdale. Miss Hathaway, make arrangements to fly 3 girls from Japan right away, Mr. Drysdale ordered, his fear overriding his penny-pinching ways. All right, all you untouchables. Out of the kitchen, Jethro declared as he entered, looking for his breakfast. My exalted radiance is going to have breakfast. You going to cook your own veal? Ellie asked, leaning against the counter. Are you kidding? I got my own personal cook and server. Hey, Miko, chop chop. Miko is here? Jed asked, surprised. Well, yeah, Jethro said. I was sitting out front. She came up and said she done left Bonsai. Could she come back here? Why would she want to do that? Jed wondered. Why else? Like they says in Japan, she rubs me, Jethro said with a smirk. Well, Jethro, you ready to behave yourself? Granny asked, her voice sharp. I will tell you what I am ready to do, Jethro said, puffing out his chest. I am ready to take Miko and run away from home. Can I have my 50 cents allowance in advance? You will not need it, boy, Granny said, shaking her head. Miko might run from you, but not with you. Are you kidding? That little Japanese cherry blossom is head over heels crazy mad for me. Like I said before, she rubs me. I got news for you, Jed said, putting a hand on Jethro's shoulder. She does not even like you. Jeth, I am going to have to hear that from her own ruby lips, Jethro said, looking toward the door. Might be a good idea, Jed sighed. Now, Miko, don't you worry, Granny said, patting Miko's hand. Ellie and me had trouble with our men folks, too. But they come around. And so will Bonsai. I hope Granny's son is right, Miko said softly. Bonsai is very unhappy with Miko. Well, you just stay here until he changes his tune, Granny advised. Thank you so very much, Miko replied. Is Jethro ready to behave himself? Granny asked Jed. He says he is ready to run away from home, Jed reported. That is even better, Granny said, grabbing a bag. I will go pack his bag. Watch it, lowly Occidental female, Jethro shouted. You is mean-mouthing the radiant light of the Orient. Jethro, you watch it, too, round eyes, Ellie retorted. Jeth, shall we take him to the woodshed and fan his radiant breeches? Granny asked, already halfway to the door. Please, please, Miko begged, looking panicked. Miko caused too much trouble between Jethro's son and honorable family. I am sorry. I will go. No, sit down, Miko, Granny commanded. You did not cause enough trouble. He is always like that, Ellie said, rolling her eyes. Miss Miko, you Yamaha with Jethro's son, and we with rival luxury, Jethro said, his words barely making sense. On 50 cents a week? Will you please leave me and my Japanese sweetheart alone? Jethro pleaded. Jethro's son, I am not your Japanese sweetheart, Miko said, her voice clear and firm. Are you telling me you ain't Japanese? Jethro asked, confused. I am Japanese, but not your sweetheart, she clarified. Is that plain enough, stupid Sam? Greetings, Ellie, Miss Jane said as she walked up to the house, looking a bit harried. Howdy, Miss Jane, Ellie said with a smile. Say hello to Oscar. Hi there, little fella, Miss Jane said, patting the dog. Ellie Mae, we girls at the bank need Granny's help. What is the trouble? Ellie asked. Bonsai has seized our contract and will not give it back to us, Miss Jane explained. Oh, Granny will make you do it, Ellie said, looking confident. She will whomp him again. That is what I wanted to check with you, Miss Jane said. Granny did vanquish Bonsai, did she not? Yeah, he got her, May, Ellie said, laughing. There used to be another one on bench, just like this one right here. Well, that rascal hauled off and hit it with his bare hands and just busted it all to pieces. What a terrible thing to do, Miss Jane said, shocked. That is what Granny said, Ellie replied. And she led him and turned him every way but loose. Who are you talking about, Ellie? Miss Jane asked. Oh, Bonsai, Ellie said. Is that the goon mare that busted our bench? Granny asked, emerging from the house. And you vanquished him, Granny. I do not know about that, Granny said, squinting her eyes, but I hooped the tar out of him. Well, now he has taken our contract away from us, Miss Jane said. Would you make him give it back? Of course I will, Granny declared. Where is he? At the bank, Miss Jane answered. Let us go, Granny said, reaching for her bonnet. Hey, where are you all going? Jed asked, coming out onto the porch. To the bank, Granny said, heading toward the truck. Can I catch a lift? Jethro asked, trailing behind them. Certainly, hop in, Granny said, starting the engine. Where are you going? Jed asked Jethro. Do not ask him, Granny said to Jed. Just let him go. Good luck, Jed called out. Whose car is this, Miss Dean? Granny asked as they pulled into the bank parking lot. Bonsai broke it just the way he did your bench, Miss Jane explained. Where is that jump maker? Granny asked, stepping out of the car. In Mr. Drysdale's office, Miss Jane said. I will learn him to go around busting up people's furniture and automobiles, Granny vowed. Atta girl, Granny, Miss Jane cheered. Thanks for the lift, Miss Jane, Granny said, walking toward the bank. Jethro, where are you going? Jed asked, catching him as he tried to sneak away. I am running away from home, Jethro stated. Running away from home?
Why?
Jed asked, puzzled. That family of weed benders I have been living with will not let me live the kind of life I am entitled to, Jethro complained. And just what kind of life is that? Jed asked. One of sublime happiness, Jethro proclaimed. As a member of the magnificent, exalted Oriental nobility. And just where do you plan to find that kind of life, your exalted magnificence? Jed asked, struggling not to laugh. I thought I would try the Young Men's Christian Association, Jethro said, looking very serious. I do not know how sublime that will be, Jed remarked. Well, I cannot be too choosy when my allowance is only 50 cents a week, Jethro admitted. Jethro, take my advice and go back home, Jed said, his voice softening. To them rubes and hay shakers? Never, Jethro vowed. Well, it is better than starving, Jed observed. I will get along, Jethro said confidently. I got all the necessities of life right here. Such as? Jed asked, looking at his small bag. 4 ham hocks, a side of fatback, 2 pot roast, and a turkey, Jethro listed, looking very proud of himself. Jethro, how long do you think that will last? Jed asked, shaking his head. It will take me through the rest of the day, Jethro said, unfazed. I done told you for the last time, Mr. Bonsai, Granny said, standing in Mr. Drysdale's office. Are you ready to do as I say? Oh, yes, Bonsai stammered, looking at Granny with genuine fear. Now you get down front and give Miss Jane her contract, Granny ordered, with great haste. And while you're down there, you fix Miss Helen's car that you busted. Oh, so sorry, but Bonsai not mechanic, Bonsai tried to argue. Are you going to give me some more of your sass? Granny asked, her voice dropping to a dangerous level. Oh, no, Bonsai yelped. Bonsai become instant mechanic. Thank you, Granny, Miss Jane said, smiling. Oh, you are welcome, honey, Granny said, patting her hand. All it takes to handle men is a little feminine charm. Are they gone? Mr. Drysdale asked, poking his head out from under the desk. Yes, Miss Jane said. I forgot that Granny can handle Bonsai, Mr. Drysdale said, standing up. Cancel the plane reservations for those Japanese girls. But, Mr. Drysdale, you gave your word, Miss Jane protested. That is despicable. Well, it is also economical, Mr. Drysdale said, feeling quite pleased with himself. I save $1,000. And so you see, dear boy, there is absolutely no chance of living a life of Oriental luxury at the Young Men's Christian Association, especially on 50 cents a week, Jed said to Jethro. Then I reckon I will just have to go back home, Jethro sighed, his dream of Oriental nobility fading fast. A very wise decision, Jethro, Jed said, clapping him on the shoulder. Miss Hathaway, I have the pleasure to return your contract, Bonsai said, handing over the papers. Well, thank you, Bonsai, Miss Jane said, looking relieved. You know, Jethro said? Bonsai asked, looking at them.
Oh, yes.
We are both sublime male beings. Bonsai not feel too sublime right now, but will feel better when new girls arrive from Japan. Are you getting a new batch? Mr. Drysdale asked. That is correct, Bonsai confirmed. I made plane reservations for them myself. Hot dogs. Jethro cheered. Remember, Bonsai, we are buddies. You and me, sharing. They are alive. Did you get your contract back, Miss Jane? Mr. Drysdale asked. Oh, yes, thank you, Granny, Miss Jane said, turning to Granny. Now you get busy and fix Miss Helen's car. Oh, yes, right away, Bonsai said, already heading for the door. And you have him, Granny said to Miss Jane. Oh, yes, ma'am, Miss Jane replied. It is your will. Bonsai and me as buddies. Granny, you will be happy to know that I talked Jethro out of running away from home, Jed said. After the nice thing that I done for you? Granny asked, confused. You wanted him to run away? Well, just long enough to get him over his Oriental sublime nonsense, Jed clarified. Oh, I am so sorry, but where could he go on his allowance?
Granny asked.
Oh, yeah, that is a. How about your apartment? Jed suggested. Oh, Granny, Miss Jane said, feeling awkward. Well, you can come and stay with us, Granny said. Well, that is a marvelous idea, Miss Jane replied. I will suggest it. Jethro, how would you like to take over my apartment? Miss Jane asked, turning to him. You mean it? Jethro asked, his eyes lighting up. Here are the keys, Miss Jane said, placing them in his hand. I am going to move in with the Rubes and Hayshakers. Oh, boy. Thank you, Miss Jane, Jethro shouted.
You are welcome, Miss Jane said. Come on, Granny.
Hey, Bonsai, did you hear that? Jethro asked. I am going to have my own swinging bachelor pad. Very nice, Bonsai said, looking unimpressed. Hey, you come on in with me, Jethro offered. I will throw my whole allowance into the deal. You furnish your girls, I will furnish your money. How about it? Your uncle having $95 million, right? Oh, more than that, Jethro bragged. How about it? Share and share are right. This deal.
Partner, son. Come on, partner.
Let us fix the car, and we will have our own bachelor wheels. Granny, I cannot thank you enough, Miss Jane said. Glad to do it, Granny said, looking toward the road. Look what is coming.
So long.
See you later. Do you think you've fetched along enough clothes, Miss Jane? Jed asked as she walked back to the truck. Oh, yes, Miss Jane said. It will not take Jethro long to get homesick. Living in my apartment can be very austere. No hooking, no noise, no television. Jethro is going to miss television. He has been watching Sesame Street quite regularly. Really? Jed asked, surprised. He has learned to prepare the whole alphabet, Miss Jane said. Well, which room should I take, Granny? Miss Jane asked upon arriving at the house. Oh, take your pick, Granny said. There is a flock of empties up there. Thank you, Miss Jane said, carrying her bags inside.
Jed.
Granny called out. In the parlor, Granny, Jed replied. What is going on in here? Granny asked, stopping in the doorway. Just having a little tea, Granny, Jed said. You got two Japanese girls now, Granny noted, looking at Miko and the others. Listen, it is me, Granny, Ellie Mae said, stepping out from behind a screen. Ellie Mae, what do you think you are doing? Granny asked, her jaw dropping. Well, I asked Miss Miko to learn me how Japanese girls does such a fine job of making men happy, Ellie Mae explained. Get up from there, you traitor, Granny commanded. Now, take it easy, Granny, Jed said, standing up. I figure it would not hurt Ellie none to learn a few secrets from other countries. I like it, Granny, Ellie Mae said. It is fun. Once again, Miko displeased Granny. Son, Miko said softly.
So sorry.
Oh, I ain't faulting you, honey, Granny said, her voice softening. It is just that I hate to see men folks get spoiled so rotten. Paul ain't spoiled, Granny, Ellie Mae defended. Besides, Granny, like you said, turnabout is fair play, Jed said. I figure you and Ellie could learn Miss Miko a few things. I would be honored to learn from Granny's son and beautiful granddaughter, Miko said with a bow. Well, I guess there is a couple of secrets we could slip you, Granny said, a twinkle in her eye. You ever cook hog jowls and turnips?
No, Miko said.
Fatback and grits? Granny continued. No, Miko answered. Well, how about pig's feet and dandelion greens?
Granny asked.
No, Miko said again. This poor child ain't never had a decent meal, Granny said, looking horrified.
See, Granny?
Jed said. There is lots of things Miss Miko can learn from you. You too, Ellie, Granny said. Ain't nobody can handle critters like this girl. Critters? That is animals, Miko whispered.
Oh, you're right, Jed said.
There is a lot of things this little girl does not know. I will even learn her to brew up a good old-fashioned.
Granny began.
Hold it, Granny, Jed interrupted. You ain't going to learn her to brew that. What is wrong with sassafras tea? Granny asked, looking innocent. Oh, I thought he was going to say white lightning, Jed said. I will learn her that too, Granny said, smiling. What is white lightning? Miko asked. Well, it is like sake, Granny explained, only with more sake. I like to learn American things, Miko said enthusiastically. Granny, where are you? Miss Jane called out. In here, Miss Jane, Granny replied. Oh, Granny, I just phoned my apartment, Miss Jane said, walking into the room. What a lovely picture. Who are these beautiful girls? I am Miko, Miko said with a small curtsy. Oh, Miko, of course, Miss Jane said. And who is this exquisite child? Is she pretty? This here is. Don't tell her, Passan, Jethro said, entering the room. Let us see. Can she guess? Ellie Mae. What a transformation. You look like a geisha, Miss Jane exclaimed. Oh, shucks, Ellie Mae said, blushing. I was trying to look Japanese. Well, indeed you do, Miss Jane said. What was he saying about phoning your apartment? Oh, yes, Miss Jane said. Jethro has moved in. Well, how do you like our swinging bachelor bed, huh? Jethro asked, pulling out a folding chair. This whole thing? Yep, it is all ours. There is not room in here to swing one bachelor, Miss Jane said, looking at the tiny space. Where we sleep. Don't you worry about that, Jethro said, gesturing wildly. This right here makes into one bed, makes another one over yonder. Watch this. Whoopee. This is a good one, too. You can take your choice. Jethro-san, you have money, right? Miko asked. Sure, my whole allowance, Jethro said.
Why?
Just get bad news, Miko said, looking down. Drysdale not pay to fly girls from Japan. You pay? Heck yeah, Jethro said. How much will it cost? $1,000, Miko said. Okay, I will cipher out how long it will take to get them here, Jethro said, grabbing a pencil. Let us see now. $1,000, that is 1, not. Now it goes 50 cents into that. 50 into 100 goes twice. 50 cents into not is not. Why do you keep saying 50 cents? Miko asked. That is how much I get every week, Jethro explained. That is my allowance. And 50 cents into them, knots is not. It is going to be around 2,000 weeks before we have enough money to throw. Hey, Mr. Bonsai-san.
How are you?
Oh, I am afraid this is not Bonsai's day, Bonsai said, looking disheveled. As General Sen would say, everything get roused up. I am sorry to hear that, Jethro said. Anything I can do? You can persuade Miko to return to House of Bonsai, Bonsai requested. Well, before I do that, you gotta promise that you will go along with what the women folks call equal rights, Jethro said. I promise anything to get Miko back, Bonsai said. She is beautiful cherry blossom on the tree of my life. She is lovely butterfly in the garden of my heart. My house is sad without Miko. Forget Miko, Jethro said, looking at a photo. Who this? Pretty little thing, ain't she? What is all that he has spat at to me, Pasan? Miko asked. I do not rightly know, Elime-sen, Jed said, watching the scene unfold. This girl, Elime? Bonsai asked, pointing at Elime. That is right, Jed said. She is my daughter. Oh, so sorry, Bonsai apologized. Once again, Miko become light of my life. Where is she, please? Well, I think she is out in the kitchen with Granny-sen, Jed said. She is upstairs now. Pasan, Jethro corrected. Hey, Miko. So nice to see you. Where are you, doggy?
Give me that old bonsai. Howdy, y'all.
This Miko? Why, it is your partner, Granny said, entering the room. How about coming to sit at the table with us and eating some fiddles? Fiddles? Miko asked, confused. Yeah, Granny said. Fatback and grits. Pig's feet and dandelion greens. And big old messy giblets. Oh, this is not Bonsai's day, Bonsai sighed. Definitely, Jethro agreed. Well, come on out to the kitchen anyway, Bonsai, Jed invited. Maybe Elimoe-san here will fix you one of them meandering ducks. Well, now it is time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin, Jed said, looking toward the camera. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You are all invited back next week to this locality to have a help in of their hospitality. Hilderly, that is. Satisfell, take your shoes off. Y'all come back now, yeah? This has been a Filmwise presentation.